Florida Governor Ron DeSantis facing new legal challenges over his parental rights and education bill, which has been dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill by critics, even though it doesn't say that. The suit, backed by the left-wing Southern Poverty Law Center, claims that the bill would block younger family members from discussing a non-binary family member while they're in school. Other organizations are challenging the law on the grounds of free speech. Here to discuss, Alan Dershowitz, our legal legend and the host of the podcast The Dersh Show. He's also the author of the new book, The Price of Principle: Why Integrity is Worth the Consequences. Check it out, folks. Professor, always good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
The bill in Florida says that parents have a right to know and to have participation in what is being taught in a public school setting, taxpayer-funded school, right? What do you think of some of these recent challenges and their, the theory of their case, and whether or not you think they could be successful?
Well, I just wrote an op-ed entitled "No Prayer, No Propaganda in the Public Schools." Today, there's a cultural conflict. Right-wing religious fundamentalists want prayer in the schools, want religion in the schools. Left-wing political fundamentalists want gender in the school, race in the school, propaganda in the school. My view, and I think the view of the courts, will ultimately be that public schools are for teaching students how to think, not what to think, learning basic core disciplines like mathematics and science, computers. And I just think the courts are going to be very unresponsive to arguments that say we should have to have first grade, second grade, or third grade gender-specific and sex-specific teaching. So I think the lawsuit will lose. And then the question is, when there are lawsuits brought by the other side to keep prayer and Christianity out of the schools, how will that fare? That, I think, is going to be the big issue. Yeah. I'm in favor of neutrality. I don't want either in the schools. I want schools to teach basic subjects and leave the rest to the churches, to after-school programs, to home teaching, but not the public schools.
Yeah, these teachers that are injecting their own personal sex lives and their own into these classrooms, it's really outrageous, and I think the state certainly has a right to regulate that. They are public employees, after all. Moving on, former President Trump threatening to sue CNN over defamatory reporting. This is an area where you have some experience as well, Professor. Do you think that he has a case, and could he win here as a former president, saying that he was defamed based on various things that they have said on their air?
Yeah, it's very fact specific. I've sued CNN for a lot of money because they heard a tape. They took out the words unlawful, illegal, and corrupt, and then had their flacks on television say Dershowitz says a president can be impeached even if he does something that's unlawful, illegal, and corrupt, having taken those words out. So my case is very, very strong. Everybody has to look at the specifics. Now, if you're the former president or if you're me, you have to show malice. But malice just means reckless disregard for the truth. We know that CNN is extraordinarily biased, that you don't get the news from them. You get a one-sided analysis from them, as sometimes you get on the other side from other networks. One reason I love to be on Newsmax is they present all sides of issues. They present me because even though they know I'm a liberal Democrat who voted against Trump and will continue to vote for liberal Democrats, but the viewers hear all sides, not on CNN. On CNN, you're fired if you try to present a nuanced point of view. So, I know that because it's happened.
Yeah. So, Professor, just so that I'm clear on this, do you think when they sit around their editorial meeting at CNN and they say, we know we don't have the evidence on Russia, on this Russia collusion narrative, for instance, but we're going to continue to put hundreds of hours of programming out on that, does that constitute malice enough to sort of override the fact that he's a public figure of public concern?
Well, malice means, in a specific case, the defamatory material either is false knowingly or the people who asserted it recklessly disregarded the truth. It's relevant that they have a bias, that they're prepared to obsess about an issue. In my case, for example, there's evidence, and we're going to present it at the trial, that they deliberately wanted to discredit me because I had done such a good job in defending the president on the floor on the first day. Their goal was to discredit me, and we're going to be able to prove that at trial.
All right. Alan Dershowitz, we're going to have to leave it there. Professor, always great to see you. Thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. I want to tell you about the Patriot Gold Group. But first, let me tell you that the S&P has already lost $8.2 trillion in 2022. Did you know that? Peak inflation is not even hit despite the Fed rate hikes on groceries, on gas. You know it as well as I do. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are warning of another 20% drop. Inflation is winning in a knockout right now. The Fed is going to raise rates again at the end of July. Meanwhile, Goldman, Wells Fargo, and Bloomberg are all forecasting gold to surpass all-time highs. If you want to invest in gold, call 888-936-2373 now. Call the Patriot Gold Group today and ask about their no-fee-for-life IRA. Sounds like a good deal, don't it? Here's the number, 888-936-2373, 888-936-2373 for the Patriot Gold Group.